son a copy of my book when he left home? Because even idiots could understand it. They always gave them my book. Well, it was an international bestseller. And it was also cheap, which probably helped. I mean, there have been some tough steps along the way. Let me explain what I mean. I'm afraid I'm going to have to take you back for a moment to 1988. I'm sorry about that.
We're a nation vast, a nation free, accepted all on a silver sea. But if you go back 200 years, you find that there was nothing here. We've come a long, long way since then, with cities built by mighty men, 2 territories and 6 great states, and 18 million true blue mates.
She's so rude. There's Margaret Fulton.
Oh, it is Margaret Fulton. Hey, Margaret, would you be able to give us a hand with this bicentenary campaign?
And why would I want to celebrate an invasion?
That's a bit prickly.
No, you got this. You're the nice guy.
Hi, I'm from Taronga Zoo, and we would like to name a koala after you. We've already got an echidna named Rolf.
Why don't you join us in the song, singing the jingle? It's a celebration of a perfect nation.
Oh, go to hell, I'm cooking.
That's perfect.
Margaret Fulton's here.
What a great career.
Sweet and cosy looking.
Go to hell, I'm cooking.
Oh, just because this is a musical doesn't mean everything has to rhyme.
Oh, that's a relief. We couldn't find anything that rhymed with Fulton.
Now go away. Go on. I've got an egg beater, and I'm not afraid to use it.
Oh, it's perfect.
Wait,
It's
perfect.
perfect. Guys, that's art.
Just like she said.
I'll tell you what I'm like. Look, when your name becomes a brand, everybody in the land tries to use it as a way of selling stuff. We'll just put your name right here, the merchandise will disappear. Well, frankly, I've had about enough. I've got the Margaret Fulton Aussie icon, living national treasure blues. I've got the Margaret Fulton Aussie icon. and teach as best I could. And I found that I could do it. Finding fame, there's nothing to it. It's something that I've never understood. Whoops, I've got the Margaret Fulton, Aussie icon, living national treasure blues. There you go, I've got the Margaret Fulton, Aussie icon, bugger it, living national treasure blues. I wasn't ego-tripping, though the kickbacks could be ripping. Free restaurants and the airfares were a steal. But friends weren't all consistent, and some were non-existent. Reality TV just isn't real. I've got the Margaret Fulton, Aussie icon, living national treasure blues. I've got the Margaret Fulton, Aussie icon, living national treasure blues. Living national treasure blues. Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Fulton.
Come in, call me Margaret.
Wow, what a view. This is a lovely place.
Thank you.
Not very big.
No, it isn't big.
Still, worth a fortune now.
Well, it wasn't when I bought it. All my friends told me I was mad to buy in Balmain, but at least I wouldn't get robbed, though. That's what they said. People in Balmain look after their own. Would you like a cup of tea?
Yes. Yes, thanks.
Would you like an Anzac?
What's that?
A biscuit.
Mum won't believe it. She's still got your cookbook, you know. It's even signed.
No, I think the unsigned copies are probably more valuable.
Why?
Never mind. They're not chewy, they're crisp. That's the way they're supposed to be. You shouldn't use too much baking powder. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much again. Now, have you got one of those little tape recorders?
No, I don't.
Good, I can't stand them.
Mrs. Fulton. Look, Margaret. My name's John. I'm from the bank.
Yeah, I thought you were the journalist.
Well, didn't the bank ring?
No.
Oh, this is awkward. You see, these are nice.
I'll get you a bag to take home. Now, is there a problem?
Well, your house. No, I've come to... You signed here.
Yes, Roger told me to. He's my accountant.
He asked you to put up your house as security on an investment.
Yes, well, he said it would be good for the place to earn a bit of extra money.
I'm very sorry. I'm here to do a valuation.
Oh, have you spoken to Roger?
Yes, we have.
Well, he put in even more than I did. That's how I knew it was safe.
No, his house is in his wife's name, so the bank can't touch that.
Oh.
Look, unless you can come up with this much money by the end of the year, I'm afraid the bank has the right to sell this place from under you. Happy bicentenary.
Buyers and consumers, don't believe the rumors. See the bigger picture, you'll keep getting richer.
I had some kind friends offering me loans, but I wouldn't take their money. I'm stubborn like that.
And Scottish, they usually go together.
I wouldn't let the bank take my house or the little flat I'd bought for Suzanne. I thought the only thing to do is to put my head down and my bum up.
Well, she always was very keen on yoga.
I worked harder than ever. I didn't really want to write any more cookbooks, but that was the best way I knew to make money.
It's amazing she's done so well considering her education.
Mum?
Well, that was a compliment.
Well, the girls at school used to tease me for wearing the clothes Dad made for me. They said I looked like a boy.
Well, the girls at school all dressed in gingham looked like a plague of tablecloths.
Now, what was it you always said? You'd point right here
It's an old Scottish saying. If you put it between here and here, no one can take it away from you.
But the education system for women in Australia was a disaster.
No economics, no history.
In domestic science, we were taught to prepare meals by taking meat and fresh vegetables and boiling the bejesus out of them. All very proper. A lesson in etiquette.
In order for a marriage to survive, be elegant when visitors arrive. Commend your husband nicely, prepare each day precisely, and have your kids before you're 25. In order to impress your special man, show tenderness in any way you can, and do most anything to make him feel a king, the way the geishas do it in Japan.
My father used to panic when I said I was going to cook something. He'd lock me out of the house. Oh, God, the cooking classes at school were terrible. My loaves of bread were so dense, you could moor boats to them.
Just fill your life with such activities, and happiness a marriage guarantees. A woman has no call to leave the house at all, and Valium will make your life a breeze. All the things that you can do, useful things that you can do. Just keep the lino polished, your cares will be abolished. You'll wonder where the daylight hours flew. The things that an Australian wife, all the things that you can do, clever things that you can do. There's deafness in a doily, and when you're in the toilet, be sure to hide that extra toilet roll by sticking it inside a crochet doll. Oh, the things that you can do, healthy things that you can do, the things that an Australian wife, all the things that you can do.
I could not get away from school soon enough. In the 1940s, an army camp was established on the outskirts of Glen Innes, my new home in Australia, and we were encouraged to entertain the soldiers, which we did.
When I get back from the war, we could start a family.
You mean get married?
Sure.
Is that a proposal, Trevor?
I suppose it is.
Wait, you want me to keep myself for you? Oh, born romantic, that's what you are.
Oh, well, lucky I'm handsome, eh? I've got a strong feeling about us. I reckon we'd make a good couple.
Well, we've only gone out 4 times.
Yeah, but that third time, when my brother lent me his car, remember?
Yeah, I do. He didn't get out.
Yeah, it was still good, but eh?
Well, that doesn't mean we're engaged.
Well, Margaret, I just think it'd help me get through the war and everything if I knew I had someone to come home to.
Me?
Well, yeah. Oh, but if I get killed, you're off the hook.
Right.
So, Trevor went to war and Margaret went to Sydney. 18 was such an early age.
I was quite mature by that stage. I sought excitement and a living wage.
Your father was a tailor man, worked as hard as any tailor can.
To take after him was my great plan. Oh, I thought I'd go into the rag trade and be making wonderful costumes and going to art galleries and cocktail parties. And where did I end up? In a nuts and bolts factory.
Margaret had a very important job x-raying the nuts and bolts, making sure there were no cracks in them.
Yes, and I earned just enough to rent a little flat in a very quiet part of Sydney called The Rocks. Though I might
extremely pissed, and my partner never says a word. He's a mime and an annoying turd.
People can say gee whiz, but my life is full of fizz. It's the oldest job there is. La vie Hello, I'm B. Flat number 3.
I'm Margaret. Flat number 5.
Oh, wow, you look like Elizabeth Taylor. Are you an actor?
No.
We've got a lot of actors here, artists too. Mainly bullshit artists, so pardon my Francaise.
I'm not an artist either. I'm certainly not a bull poo artist.
So, what do you do to keep yourself living here in the lap of luxury?
I x-ray things.
Oh, like a doctor. Oh, that's really convenient because I've kind of got this back thing.
Bolts. I x-ray bolts.
That's nice. So, have you got a man?
Well, I have, and I haven't.
Oh, mine skipped out on me too, left me with the kids, the bastard. Oh, I mean my ex, not the kid.
Are you an actor or an artist?
I'm a lady, Margaret.
Well, I like to think I am too, B.
I don't think you're a lady in the same way that I'm a lady.
Oh, you're one of those ladies.
Would you like to come in for a cuppa?
I'm not interrupting your work.
Oh goodness, no, the fleet won't be in for hours. Would you like to keep it down because Trixie's asleep?
I'll go and get some cake.
Oh no, don't waste your money.
No, it's okay. I made it myself. Poppy seed cake.
How do you make a cake out of poppy seeds?
6 eggs, a cup of sugar, half a cup of candied peel, and a teaspoon of ground allspice. Oh, and a lot of poppy seeds.
Huh. Oh, what? No flour?
No flour.
Oh, you wouldn't read about it. I like you. And with your looks, you could end up in show business. And I'd just like to apologise in advance for any loud noises you might hear coming from my flat. If you hear any loud moans, just don't go calling the police. It'll probably be them. 4:30 in the afternoon. My shift begins quite soon. It's an old familiar tune. La vie bohème. As a job, there are things it lacks. Though I never pay income tax, sometimes I give men heart attacks. La vie bohème. G'day, Mick. G'day, Norleen. Okay, see you later, fellas. Bye-bye. You may wonder why on earth we are unconventional and some bizarre. But one day you'll call it Mardi Gras and not La vie bohème. No, we're meant to be demure, ever so polite and pure. It's a life we can't endure. Give me.
La vie
Margaret, I'm at a loss. What is it about the job that you don't like?
I'm just losing interest,
In the nuts and bolts?
especially the bolts. Well, don't you ever get tired of them?
I adore them. I mean, the nuts. Superb. There must be something that you're not telling me.
These x-ray machines we use,
Quite harmless.
but aren't they...
Radioactive? No.
But if
No.
one were pregnant...
Yes, but one isn't, is one.
But if one were...
I knew there was something you weren't telling me.
I should have said something earlier. I was afraid you'd judge me.
So, you're very definitely going to have this baby then?
Yep.
I told them not to hire a woman. I said...
Oh, I think I felt him kicking.
Young lady, as you leave the building, just be sure you don't go too close to the x-ray machines.
The ones that aren't radioactive.
Yes, especially those ones.
All the things that you can do, clever things that you can do.
I was lying, of course. I wasn't pregnant. Just sick to death of nuts and bolts. The war continued and Trevor didn't get killed and I still had to pay the rent.
Gas and Fuel Corporation takes its role very seriously. How old are you?
19.
Married?
Engaged.
If I do give you this job, you're not going to run off and start having babies all over the place. I mean, you're not going to get yourself up the duff.
My fiancé is a soldier. He's overseas.
Yes, but if he comes back... I'm sorry, when he comes back...
We don't plan on starting a family just yet.
Well, don't leave your run too late. But by the same token, don't start it too early.
I won't, I promise. Do I have the job?
You're a good cook?
Oh, yes. Mum taught me everything. Not just English cookery, but even Mediterranean dishes, French, cuisine bourgeois.
You'll be cooking scones.
Oh.
Best if we keep things uncomplicated.
Oh, no, I wouldn't make it complicated. I can cook hundreds of things. Simple, but interesting.
Margaret, may I call you Margaret? Margaret? The housewives of Australia are frightened of gas. It will be your job to show them that when they cook the evening meal, they won't blow up.
Then shouldn't I teach them how to cook the evening meal?
Just scones. The Gas and Fuel Corporation has to pay for the ingredients, you see. So you have flour, milk, butter. Cook the scones, don't explode, everybody's happy.
If you gave me onions, I could teach them how to cook 10 different things.
No.
Eggs.
Too complicated.
I've got a hen.
Oh, you're a very determined sort of person, aren't you?
Oh, yes. I grew up on a farm and we used to trade the extra vegetables with the local fishermen for fish and prawns. I could probably do a pizza for you if you wanted.
What the hell is that?
It's like a big Italian
Yes.
flat scone.
Well, we won't have any of that eye-tie nonsense around here, thank you very much. Just stick to scones and you've got the job. But if you explode, you're sacked.
Do you, Margaret Isabel Fulton, take me, Trevor Wilfred Price?
Yes, Trevor, I told you I would.
Oh, yes.
Welcome home.
Yes.
Yellow flowers, last thing he ever gave me, apart from a beautiful daughter. But that, was an ugly divorce. Now, place these scones together on a lightly greased baking tray, brush the tops with a little milk, and then bake in the oven for 15 minutes or until the scones are lightly golden on top. Now, you'll notice, ladies, that everything today has been prepared with the wonderful help of new high-speed gas. Now, if you're like me and you like a clean kitchen but dislike exploding, why not switch from electricity to high-speed gas? You'll be so glad you did. Here are some scones I prepared earlier. You can help yourself to as many of those as you want.
Hello. I think that you're the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen. I got you a present.
Must have cost a fortune.
I work at the Dunhill counter at David Jones. Get a special discount on the seconds.
To Margaret Fulton, fondest wishes from your greatest admirer, Dennis Doonan. It's beautiful. Thank you very much.
Do you smoke?
No.
Maybe you should take it up. Be ashamed to waste such a beautiful case.
The food doesn't taste as nice.
I'd love to take you to lunch sometime, if you have the time. Margaret Fulton, I will make your wildest dreams come true.
Well, thank you, Mr. Doonan. That would be wonderful. All right, I know we came on a bit strong, but did you ever in your life see a better looking man? I mean, what a dreamboat.
All the things that you can do, clever things that you can do.
And then, for the first time in my new career, I was poached.
I can't say much.
Well, say it now. I'm teaching another class in 5 minutes.
We would be offering you a senior position with the Overseas Corporation.
Oh, and what would I be doing exactly?
Read this, then eat it.
pressure cookers.
And when the boiling point goes up so far, it takes 10 minutes, and there you are. But keep your weight on top of less like gold. The food will burst right to the hole. And if anyone gets in the way, they'll be blown like pea soup across the bay. Pressure cooker. Afraid of you, you're a modern novel, a thing sublime, cooking evening meals in half the time.
Pressure cooker, you're the thing we cherish, but don't for God's sake let the rubber seal perish. 'Cause if you do, then you can quite expect a sort of some atomic bomb effect. But when you work out time to spare, to clean the house and busy curl my hair and mop the floor and break the drive before my husband and kids arrive. Pressure cooker, elegant and new. How could anybody be afraid of you? You're a modern novel, a thing sublime, cooking evening meals in half the time. Pressure cooker. How could anybody be afraid of you? You're a modern novel, a thing sublime, cooking evening meals in half the time. Pressure cooker. Pressure cooker. Pressure cooker.
Will you marry me? No pressure.
I'm sorry to interrupt the story at such a cliffhanger, but the pressure cooker really was a very important part of my career. We'll get back to him later.
This is the night manager speaking.
Hello.
Do you know where you are?
The Hotel Canberra? It's on your writing paper.
A man entered your room tonight.
Yes, he did.
He's only just left. I've called a taxi for him.
Well, I'm sorry it's so late.
We can't have that kind of thing.
I don't follow.
Well, there are other hotels you could use. In Queanbeyan.
Queanbeyan?
Well, they don't mind that sort of thing in Queanbeyan. But I won't have it at the Hotel Canberra. Nope, you'll have to go.
What? Why?
I think it's fairly obvious what's going on here. You're clearly a prostitute.
Is the man still there?
Well, the taxi's yet to arrive.
Well, why don't you ask him what's been going on?
Now, you don't need to
Ask
make
him who he is and what he was doing.
Madam!
Go on. I do love these moments, don't you?
There appears to have been a misunderstanding.
Ah, what did he tell you?
Oh, he's the CEO of the Australian Aluminium Production Commission, and that you've spent half the night negotiating the terms of an extra allocation of ingot aluminium for your pressure cooker company.
I'm Scottish. I drive a hard bargain. Now, you won't be presenting me with a bill at the end of my stay, will you?
No, Miss Fulton.
Full breakfast, thanks.
Pressure cooker, safer than a jet. Hardly anyone has perished yet. You're made from the same stuff as aeroplanes and the cores of kitchen ceiling stains.
Pressure cooker, I negotiate $1 million deals. I never hesitate. You're a modern novel, a thing sublime, cooking evening meals in working as a cooking demo lady at David Jones.
I told you, didn't I? I said that with your looks, you could end up in show business. Oh, I'm still living in number 3. You should see my little girl now. She's 8 gorgeous curls, but she swears like a bloody sailor. Christ knows where she gets it from.
Mine can't talk yet.
Oh, you had a baby.
A beautiful little girl. Suzanne.
Well, you just make sure she doesn't hear any of that sailor talk.
No, there aren't a lot of sailors in Mooney Mooney.
Mooney Mooney. Are you living with your mum?
My sister, her mum died of cancer years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. And your husband?
Trevor?
Yeah?
No, that fell apart years ago, just after the baby arrived.
Oh. And is he paying you any?
No, nothing like that.
Oh, useless bastard. They're all the same. Hey, Margaret. I'm not a lady anymore. I got this cleaning job at the Sun, so I'm still working nights. You should come round to number 3. Or are you $2 grand now?
Oh, $2 grand? Well, shall I tell you something, B? Do you know how I travel all the way from Mooney Mooney to Sydney?
You got a chauffeur! Oh, wow!
No, I think you mean chauffeur, and I haven't. I hitchhike. I was picked up by a hearse the other day, but they're awfully slow.
You can't carry on like that. You should move back to the rocks. It's where you belong.
You know what, B, I think you might be right.
I'm always bloody right.
Single mothers in bright frocks, living loosely on the rocks. We don't worry who it shocks. La vie bohème. My next job was on Woman magazine. This time, my boss was a woman.
Can you do brown rolls?
Yes.
You've got the job.
So much easier. Best job interview I've ever had. Next thing I know, I've got an office and an assistant on the top story of the Sun office building with the big ball on top. You can see it all the way from the Blue Mountains.
Hang on, Margaret, you've missed a bit.
Oh yes, I was on the Bobby Lim show.
No, Margaret, I wasn't talking about the Bobby Lim show. I was referring to him.
Oh, yes, Dennis. He was Irish. A Dunhill salesman, just my type, handsome, artistic. There was a frisson between us.
There was more than a frisson between you. You married him.
Well, yes, but I thought he was different.
Well, I thought he was just like the others. Decorative, elegant, and useless. A man who looks handsome. A man who speaks French. A man who's a disaster with a hammer or wrench.
A man who says silly things and I can't help but smile.
A man who'd be hopeless on a tropical isle.
His first name was Dennis, a salesman was he,
and a genuine pantsman of the highest degree.
But he looked so delicious as he worked at the store, selling products by Dunhill, avoiding the war. Decorative and elegant and useless, they never wore a suit or a hat,
unless acting in a play.
and Dennis was inclined that way.
And wasn't even very good at that.
Decorative and elegant and useless, they never understand about shares. They never put a bit aside in case the market took a slide.
They're bad with financial affairs.
Well, the kitchen's just as exciting as any bedroom I've been in.
I think you've been in the wrong bedrooms, my hen.
Decorative and elegant and useless, they never understand about shares. And how is it they never know the way to make investments grow?
They're bad with financial.
They're bad with financial. They're crap with financial affairs.
All right, head down, bum up, back to work.
Just let me get my breath back. It's all right for you. You're a ghost. So what does the afterlife look like?
Like a giant king living showroom.
I bet it's tasteful, with bone wall-to-walls and Swedish credenzas all over the place.
Oh, it's Credenza City. Very tasteful. Well, at least it was, until they put in those conversation pits.
And are you there with Dad?
Oh, no. Haven't found him yet.
You will. Don't worry. I'm sorry! I'm talking too much again! Sometimes when I'm in the kitchen, I like to have a wee drink.
Is that Scotch?
It's Fanta.
Single malt Fanta.
Oh, it's one Scotch. Don't make a federal case.
Oh, I can't. There are no lawyers in heaven.
I miss you.
I'm right here.
It isn't real, is it? It's just between here and here.
Oh, my darling, even though I passed on a while ago, understand I will always be near in that place twixt here and here, when in life you always seek friends and family to keep. That's when friends will never really go. They'll live on in you, you know. I live on in you, I know.
Oh! God, you surprised me. Who are you?
Oh, I work on the next floor over. For a newspaper called Truth.
And what do you publish?
Absolutely anything. Truth newspaper is a new, bold, and brassy young outfit. We're not afraid to ruffle a few feathers. I cannot overstress the commitment we've made to publishing the truth, even if the fat cats don't like it. Oh, what's this then? Oh. I like your style. You're fresh, young, urgent. You're now. You're sober. Would you like a drink? Never mind. How would you consider joining our newspaper as our restaurant critic?
Oh, well, I...
Come over here, Margaret, you little rascal. Come take a look at this magnificent view.
Sometimes it's hard writing those recipes. I should get back to it.
You play your cards right, kiddo, and you could be working right here with me on the top floor. Right here in the ACP building, with the big ball on top. You can see it from the Blue Mountains.
You're going to have to take that hand away if you want to keep it.
I know thousands of young women who'd kill to be in your position right now. Right under that big ball.
I said take your hand away.
What? Get it? What the? Get
Evening, Margaret. Working late?
Well, remember what I said, Margaret? Door's always open.
No, I don't want you to leave yet, Reg. See, the thing is, Margaret and I go way back. She's always coming around to the flats where I live. We love her there. She brings us cakes. She's a very kind and generous person.
No, I'm not. Phoebe.
No, shut up. You are, Margaret. But you see, the thing is, some of these people, at the flats, well, they're tempestuous, violent even. And if any of them found out that someone was giving Margaret a hard time, well, they'd probably cut off his dangly bits and nail them to his head.
Interesting point. Good night, Margaret.
You don't normally clean this floor, do you, Bea?
Only when I have to, love. Only when I have to.
It was 1955. When I left, I made sure Reg from The Truth wrote me a very, very good reference for my next job, although I think he might have overdone it just a bit.
This is the most glowing reference we have ever received. But the job might be a bit dull for you. It says here that you went to Harvard. You don't sound American.
No, I didn't go to Harvard in America. There's another one. In Mooney Mooney. It's called Harvard.
Right. Well, you certainly impressed the pants off Reg.
Yes, I think a lot of women do.
Well, I noticed that you're a woman.
Very sharp.
It's just that we don't see many of those in the advertising business.
Yes, I've often wondered why that is.
Well, it's a very masculine sort of trade, you know?
Of course, but don't women buy the majority of the products?
Good point.
So, wouldn't a woman know how best to market these products to other women?
Oh, no. We have researchers for that. Men who tell us how the female mind works, you know?
Ah, but I'm a woman, so I already know.
All right, Margaret, here's a hypothetical situation for you. Let's say, in a nationally embarrassing blunder, that the McFadden-Menzies government allocated a huge amount of financial aid to the Queensland sugar farmers that now Australia has a giant mountain of sugar that it doesn't really need. Totally hypothetical, of course. But this thing is a behemoth, a Mount Everest, if you will. Now, what would you do here at J. Walter Thompson to market all that sugar to the housewives of Australia?
May one see it?
Anyone could see it from space. I mean, it's enormous. Oh, no, you want to visit it? No, because it's totally hypothetical, totally non-existent sugar mountain.
Right. Well, I think I'd show the consumers all the things that they can do with sugar.
Yes.
Cakes,
Yes?
biscuits, desserts, tarts, puddings, jelly, gelati. I've got it!
Come on, then.
Dads like it, mums like it, chits dropping crumbs like it, we like it, we all like jam. Girls like it, boys like it, ladies with boys like it, we like it, we all like jam. Painters, dockers, bodges, rockers, crazy painters, even Bondi surf lifesavers, kings like it, queens like it, kings in their knees like it, we like it, we all like jam. Get your berries, everyone, from the market at Paddington, in a pot of stainless steel, into water and lemon peel. When it simmers for a bit, time for you to sweeten it. Too much sugar's not enough. We've got mountains of this stuff. Floats like it, makes like it, lads lifting weights like it, we like it, we all like jam. Brides like it, boys like it, boys in back rooms like it, we like it, we all like jam. Builders, brokers, boiler, stokers, fitters, turners, go to video income earners, dogs like it, cats like it, migrants in flats like it, we like it, we all like jam. 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 We like it, we all like
I even invented the jam milkshake.
jam.
Brilliant idea.
I think I made a lot of dentists very happy. Not to mention TV executives.
Oh yes, that's right. We're going live across the nation on television in
5, 4, 3, 2.
We've got Bobby Lou in our front room. You've got television, we presume. Ooh, ooh.
special guest for you this evening. We have the one and only Margaret Fulton. Let's give her a round of applause. Now, what are we making over here today, Margaret?
My famous pavlova.
Oh, you're making a pavlova, are you?
Yes, that's what I just said.
I love a good pavlova, so does Dawn, except hers don't turn out. They don't prize.
Well, the trick is never to overbeat the egg whites.
Oh, I must tell her that.
You don't have to. I just have. This is television and she's watching from a monitor right over there.
How silly of me.
Some passion fruit for taste and extra decoration.
I notice you only use the inside of the passion fruit.
Yes, just the edible part.
And I suppose you'll be whacking that in the old oven then?
No, I won't be whacking that in the old oven, Bobby. I've already cooked that in the old oven, and that's why I'm decorating it.
I suppose you call that a passion fruit pavlova with all that passion fruit pulp on top.
You could call it that, yes.
Or perhaps a strawberry pavlova, had you used strawberries.
Or a sardine pavlova if you used sardines.
What are we going to do with you, Margaret? You should write a book, call it Cooking for Idiots.
And I'll dedicate it to you, Bobby. What's all this mess all over the place?
I have been putting sequins on this mask. It is for the Phillip Street fancy dress ball, which I'm sure you've forgotten all about because Bobby Lim won't be there.
Oh, Dennis, you left the phone off the hook.
The cat did it.
We don't have a cat.
It was a stray.
Someone important might have rung.
Oh, like the Queen of England, or just a mere commoner like myself?
My work is very important to me.
What about my work?
Well, what have you been doing?
This! Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to complete my mask in peace.
Is it true Dennis once went out with a man?
That really isn't such a big deal, Mum. And no, he didn't. He went out with a woman who dressed as a man. That's different. She was a barrister who went to the Phillip Street fancy dress parties dressed as Mandrake the Magician. From the kiddies comic.
You know, sometimes it all gets a bit too bohemian for me.
Oh, get here, just not.
Sydney fellas, fancy girls and fellas, working just as hard as they dare. Weekends coming, sewing machines are humming, all are making costumes to wear. Laurels are suspended, friendships can be ended when you're dressed in disguise. It's so dandy, costumes come in handy, they let you in a passion's ride. Some of us have heroes and we like to dress as them. It's rather hard in my case because most of them are men. I like the cool magician in the comic books you see. I dress myself as Mandrake and the men chase after me. Mandrake the magician, always on a mission, and so the star and the top hat and wig. Women idolize him, evil men despise him. Though he was strong, he was tougher than them. Hello, Margaret.
Hello, Mandrake the Magician, creature of tradition.
I feel marvellous. I think this cross-dressing thing's really gonna take off.
Ah, not in Sydney. People are too conservative.
And let's face it, we embrace it. Secret lives with costumes to match. It's arousing who you meet carousing. Perhaps a new voice to catch.
Ah, wow, that costume really is I can't think of the word.
Breathtaking.
Exactly the word I wasn't going to use.
You know, I just got kicked out of the ladies' toilets. Oh, and I feel I should tell you personally, Margaret, that I'm definitely not having an affair with your husband, Dennis.
I didn't think you were. Not until you mentioned it just now.
Always on a mission, keeping us free, reaffirming more than just a lawyer, he was great destroyer. There's no escape when the sorcerer comes. Magic the magician fights the opposition, talking up high with the wave of his glove. Works all night long, 'cause he hasn't
God, I'm busting. Think I might take my chances and use the gents.
Dennis. Dennis. Dennis, you can't hide in that costume. I want you to be honest with me.
Must I? You know I'm not very good at it.
But we're married.
So we are. One forgets.
Are you having an affair with Mandrake the magician?
It was just a bit of fun. I mean, she's just so fabulous and glamorous is all.
You rotten, cheating, slimy rat!
You're not mad, are you?
Yes, I am! If you've been hiding things, I meet fabulous and glamorous people all the time, but I don't just jump on them. I met Jornutsen last night.
Oh, of course, the chappie who designed the opera house. Is he fabulous and glamorous as well?
He certainly is, but you don't see me jumping on him, do you?
Well, I wouldn't mind if you did. I mean, I wouldn't mind if you did. I mean, he's just your type. Tall, Scandinavian and lean. Lay him down, he'd be a credenza.
Why don't you go and help Mandrake the magician with her zipper? I'm sure she'll never manage on her own. Margaret, the magician, reaches a decision. Dennis can dabble just as much as he cares. Genuine devotion, serious emotion, that's what I want, not a string of affairs. In times like this, I find it very comforting to make a creme brulee. Alternatively, you can grill the set custard for 5 minutes or until the sugar starts to crystallize. But when a man cheats on you, the blowtorch is best. God. Sometimes you have to laugh, don't you?
Oh, that's what Sandy used to say. Now, he was a marvellous husband. He adored his wee bairns and me, and he had a high sense of social values. And he was a looker.
No, you and I are identical like that.
And are you teaching Suzanne?
Yes, as often as I can.
Times and temperatures. Pay attention to the details.
I know.
It's ready when it coats the spoon.
I know. You taught me that when I was 9.
Not everybody knows. There should be a book.
Hello, Margaret speaking.
Hello, Margaret. This is Paul Hamlin speaking from London.
Paul Hamlin, the world-famous publisher.
Yes, this is Paul Bertrand Wolfgang Hamburger Hamlin here. Margaret, would you like to do a cookbook for me?
Oh, but there are a lot of cookbooks.
Yes, I know. I published most of them myself, although it is about time that I did a good one.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hamlin. Mum, I'm going to be an author.
looking for veggies to serve with the chops. Wednesday was always a nice casserole. Thursday was steak night and Friday was soul.
And it seems so repetitious, working all our days, making same old boring dishes in the same old boring ways. So I livened up the nation, and I taught them how to cook with a little inspiration and the Margaret Fulton book.
People at first were resistant to change. Darling was ghastly and olives were strange. As for the Asians, I have to confess, chopsticks look silly and make quite a mess.
And we learn a brand new language that we never would forget. What was once a humble sandwich ended up as a baguette. So I livened up the nation, and I taught them how to cook with a little inspiration and the Margaret Fulton book. Out in the suburbs, you hear them all sing. Have you tried the eggplant? Oh, terribly chic. You can improve things by adding an ounce of various spices that you can't pronounce. So I livened up the nation, and I taught them how to cook with a little inspiration and the Margaret Fulton book. Yes, I livened up the nation, and I taught them how to cook with a little inspiration and the Margaret Fulton book. Once a kitten of mine, spaghetti was Italian as could be. Now they gobble up bruschetta with some wine from Tuscany. So I livened up the nation, and I taught them how to cook with a little inspiration and the Margaret Fulton book. Livened up the nation, taught us how to cook with a little inspiration and the Margaret Fulton book. Yes, I livened up the nation, and I taught them how to cook with a little inspiration and the Margaret Fulton book. Yes, I livened up the nation, and I taught them how to cook with a little inspiration and the Margaret Fulton book. With a little inspiration and the Margaret Fulton.
Thank you for flying British Airways. Our brand new Boeing 707 flying Sydney to London has reduced your flying time to just 34 hours and 30 minutes. We'll be stopping in Darwin, Singapore, Calcutta, Karachi, Cairo, and Tripoli, and then finally, London. Even though this is the latest in American aircraft technology, it's important that you're all familiar with the emergency equipment on the aircraft. Please watch the crew member nearest to you for a demonstration.
Oh, Margaret, is that you?
Do up your seatbelt by putting the clasp in the buckle.
B?
Undo it by lifting the buckle flap. It tightens as shown.
Well, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm an air hostess now.
Can you reach the seat in front of you? If so, you brace by folding your arms on the seat back and resting your forehead on your arms. If you can't reach the next seat, put your head on your knees or lean as far forward as you can and hold onto your legs. Keep your feet firmly on the floor.
B, you don't have to show us all that. It's on the card.
Shh, I get a lot of tips this way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gatwick Airport, London. For the next 10 minutes, we'll be taxiing to the terminal. Please just chill Stay groovy, baby, and keep your seatbelts on.
Margaret?
Hello, Paul. Oh, why is your Rolls Royce bright blue?
Well, why not? You'll never guess where I got it. Harrods. They have everything you could ever want there, including that new cookbook you wrote, which I'm delighted to say is selling quite well. I've organized 100 signings already. Welcome to my world, isn't it divine? Books for sale everywhere. Most of them are mine, all mine. Did you get the copy of your cookbook that I sent you?
Yes. You changed the design.
Yes, well, that's what publishers do.
Well, why didn't you tell me?
That's what publishers don't do.
Look, the colours are a bit garish. The tomatoes look radioactive.
Yes, well, colour is everything, Margaret. And I can give it to the people at bargain prices by printing in Eastern Europe in huge quantities. My books are not fiction, for they always sell. That cookbook you wrote is doing quite well. The fact that you're Australian, I try to downplay. The English can get a bit funny that way. They think that you're all convicts, barbarians too. You're quite good at cricket, but that's all you do. They want your cookbooks black and white, formal, bland, and so polite. Nothing could be duller. I'm the king of living colour. Welcome to my world. See my groovy car. You and I, dear Margaret, will end up going far. Margaret, you are going to simply love the new swinging London. You can have whatever you like, boyfriends, girlfriends, one of each. Whatever colour you like, black, blue, purple. Michael, over here.
Hello, Mr. Hamlin.
Please, call me Paul, although my full name is Baron Paul Bertrand Wolfgang Hamburger of Edgeworth with an E.
Hello, Paul.
Michael McKeague, cinematographer extraordinaire. This is my new superstar, Margaret Fulton. Isn't she beautiful?
Yes. Very beautiful. Very photogenic.
She is a cook from Australia.
I wasn't aware anyone cooked in Australia.
No, we normally just eat live koalas off a stick.
Quite a sense of humor, eh?
Margaret, would you care to dance?
I am that merry wanderer of the night, said Puck. You don't love each other yet, but you will. You have no idea how perfect you are for each other, like Romeo and Juliet. And I should know, I published the Living Colour Age of Shakespeare. It didn't sell. I should stick to cats, cars, and cookery.
You're so groovy. The things you do to me. You're a shimmy swinging girl of love. The things you do to me. Margaret, Margaret,
Say, Margaret, if one wanted to go about contacting you, how would one do so?
You really shouldn't. You see, I'm married to a pants man, Dennis Doonan. Didn't think it through at the time, I was cooking. Marriage didn't seem like a big deal to me, but I think I was wrong.
Still, I'd like to contact you.
Margaret Fulton, care of Australia. There's only one Margaret Fulton in the world, Michael. And she's mine.
Margaret Fulton, you're beautiful, that's what you are.
Don't be silly, Mr. McKeag. Men overuse that word.
I know what I see. Goodbye, Margaret. Hello, Margaret. Happy New Year. I don't know if you received those letters I've been sending you, but I really would love to get in contact with you again. Happy New Year. Oh, by the way, it's Michael McKeag.
Beautiful, I can see the sparkle in your eyes. Beautiful, I must admit it took me by surprise when you looked at me.
Margaret, it's Michael calling again. Listen, I'm in Sydney and I would love to see you again. I thought perhaps we could go to dinner. See a movie. Visit a divorce lawyer.
Beautiful. You've said that word so many times before. Beautiful. Flattery won't get you through the door. It's just one tiny fling.
Margaret, it's Michael calling again. Look, I need you to give me a sign. Anything to let me know there is something here worth pursuing.
Michael.
Margaret.
Michael, you've got to stop calling me like this. I'm married.
And where is Dennis right now?
He's out with Mandrake the Magician.
Who on earth is that?
A cartoon character.
And are you happy with that arrangement? I don't want to be part of an arrangement, Margaret. It's New Year's Eve, you're at home alone, and Dennis is out with some cartoon character.
Michael, it's been 8 years since we first met. You can't keep calling and writing and sending flowers like a stalker.
Oh, well, I've never been called that before. Here I was thinking I was being endearing.
That's the trouble. You are. But go easy. Thank you for calling.
Margaret Fulton, you're beautiful.
Mandrake the Magician taught me a position, terribly gymnastic, and slightly weird. Christ, you should have seen her on the chandelier, swinging in the nutty till the cops appeared.
Hello, Margaret speaking. It's for you. Again.
Hello, this is... Christ, what's my name?
Dennis bloody Doonan.
Apparently I'm Dennis bloody Doonan. No, I can't come out tonight. Not unless you know a topless chiropractor. You do? Right? Alright, I'll see you tonight. Yeah, 9's fine. Yeah. Bye. Margaret, these divorce papers and photos are for you.
Margaret dear, in your heart I know that you are shattered. Margaret dear, I'd never interfere unless it mattered. take that call.
Look, I don't know who you are, but I think you should know that Dennis and I are divorced.
Hey, that's a pretty good sign.
Michael,
Congratulations. When can I come round and see you?
you're in London.
I'll hop on the next jet. I'll see you in 30 hours.
You'd really come that far.
Margaret, for you I'd travel to the end of the world.
Oh, God, this is ridiculously romantic.
Yes, and kind of true. Won't you join in, Margaret? But only if you want to.
I would do anything to hold you once again. I would do anything to see those bright eyes gleam. We'll really try to make this romance fly and prove it so much more.
You're my greatest chance. Let this romance fly.
Beautiful, I can see perfection in your eyes. Beautiful, I must admit it took me by surprise when you looked at me. I would do anything to hold you once again. I would do anything to see those bright eyes gleam. We'll really try to make this romance fly and prove it so much more.
You're my greatest chance.
My greatest chance.
Let
This romance
Yes, hello. Mr. Murdoch, thank you for calling me back. I just wanted to have a word with you about the food you serve on your aeroplanes. Yes, I think it should be edible. All right. Oh, God, would you listen to that tripe? Celebration of a nation, my eye. Why would anyone want to celebrate an invasion? You spent a lot of time looking at that contract.
Well, you should, you know. Look, you're not going to sign this, are you?
Yes, of course. Roger says it's all perfectly legal. Try this.
How do you know it's legal?
Because a lawyer said it was.
Which lawyer?
Someone Roger recommended, a Miss Mandrake.
Look, if you sign this, I refuse to witness it.
Try that.
I'm not mad about that.
That's because smoking ruins your taste buds.
Margaret, promise me you will not sign this.
Only if you promise to give up smoking. We both broke our promises to each other. One day I came home to open a large envelope containing a medical report. My eyes caught the word carcinoma. Isn't that cancer? How long?
16 weeks.
And what do you want to do with your time?
Curl up and die.
Nonsense. We'll go back to Europe. Say goodbye to friends and special places.
You were worth the wait, Margaret Fulton.
So were you. Life with Michael was full of interest, full of pleasure. 8 years together. The best 8 years.
Looking back on it, life has knocked me round a bit. Though I must admit, nothing would I change. Well, if I had the knack, I would bring some loved ones back. What's the point of that? What would that achieve? All of them remain up here, I believe. Mother, Father, though you're gone, in my heart you still live on. Michael, it was hard to let you go, but you will live up here, I know. When a person dies, sometimes people realize that their friendship's ties really weren't so strong. But I've kept in touch with those who I love so much, though it hurts so much when at last they leave. Frankly, I have no regrets, I believe. When in life you always seek friends and family to keep, that's when friends will never really go. They all live on in you, I know. Does mortality have a sort of recipe? I would probably try to keep it short. I'd start writing, then happily put down my pen, understanding when some things can't be taught. Neither are there markets where they can be bought. Mother, Father, you gave me such a wondrous legacy, and it's shaped by people that I've met. All those friends I won't forget. Mother, Father, you gave me all my life's philosophy. Friends will sometimes shuffle off. They all live on in you, I know.
Margaret Fulton, trusted and true. How can anyone not admire you? You're a modern wonder, a paradigm, making cooking marvelous all the time, making cooking marvelous all the time.
Oh, how's that for a pav? It's our 50th anniversary. Took me 3 tries to get it right. In the end, I realised I was overbeating the egg whites.
What did I tell you about that, Bee?
Don't overbeat the egg whites. So, what do you plan to do now?
Put my feet up for a bit. I've got a wonderful family, grandchildren.
And there are cardboard cutouts of you all over the supermarkets.
Oh, I'll never forget, gave me the shock of my life when I walked into aisle 3 and ran into myself. Apparently a lady tripped over one.
Oh, I remember the headline. Elderly woman knocked down by Margaret Fulton. I also remember the headline, Margaret Fulton loses her house.
And I nearly did. But I had some help from a ghostwriter.
Head down, bum up.
Hey Margaret, there was always something I wanted to ask you. You know, when you wrote that book, your cooking book, did you have any idea how big it would be?
Well, I didn't think it would sell 1.5 million copies.
I always knew you'd be famous.
It was just lovely because I was going on this wonderful journey and the women of Australia, they went on this journey with me.
We did. I keep running into my old customers. You should see the look on their faces when I tell them Margaret Fulton taught me everything I know.
I have to admit, Bea, I'm getting a bit tired.
It's all right to slow down. You were always travelling twice as fast as everyone else. Look after yourself. Here's to Margaret Fulton, Queen of the Dessert.